I'm going to be fat forever. I can't live like this anymore.
Melissa! Melissa! Please don't leave me. Please. What happened after is deeply personal and hard for me to share. But with God's guidance, it led to this miraculous after-dinner ritual that anyone can use to safely and quickly flush out stubborn fat from every single cell in the body in just 3 days. It helped Melissa Walker, 49-year-old mom of 2, strip off 73 pounds of unwanted wobbly fat from her belly, hips, arms, and face. And she did it without a moment of stress, dieting, or exhausting exercise. Going from this to this. It slimmed her waist so drastically that her old clothes became too loose. They slid right off her hips. She's now wearing skin-tight outfits and skinny jeans she never dreamed of wearing again. Her joint pain was gone, cellulite erased, and now looking 15 years younger with radiant, glowing skin and a Hollywood figure. And not just her. Her husband, Matt, also used this 7-second ritual too. The very first night, he dropped 3 pounds. And in the weeks that followed, he dissolved 42 pounds of embarrassing belly and chest fat, giving him rock-hard abs for the first time ever. All the while, Melissa and Matt ate all their favorite foods, burgers, pizza, and whatever fast foods they felt like, because it didn't affect their weight. They also finished off every meal with any dessert of their choice, like ice cream, chocolate, or pastries. It may sound unbelievable, but it was made possible with a simple and safe after-dinner ritual that you too can do at home right now. This has nothing to do with exercising, calorie counting, or going to the gym, and it will go against everything you've been told about weight loss. I know this because I'm Matt Walker, Melissa's husband, and in the next 2 minutes and 30 seconds, you're going to be furious when you hear the lies you've been told about losing weight, and you'll hear the truth from a whistleblowing doctor who spent a decade deep inside the billion-dollar weight loss industry. Right here, he'll put his career on the line to reveal the real root cause of your slow metabolism and how it's silently causing you crippling health problems. You see, studies from places like Harvard, Stanford, and the Cleveland Clinic found that 97% of people who are overweight are struggling because their body's natural stores of fat-shrinking cells are inactive. When you don't have enough of these fat-shrinking cells, it's impossible to lose weight with diet and exercise. The good news is, the solution is easy and is like nothing you've ever seen or tried before. The bad news is, it's so simple, it may anger you, making you wonder what all those years of suffering was for. Because this after-dinner ritual activates and multiplies your body's inherent fat-shrinking cells by 10 times over within a matter of minutes. It's a tightly guarded secret used for centuries by one of the slimmest and longest living communities on the planet that's been hidden for years in the alpine peaks of the Andes Mountains. This 7-second after-dinner ritual easily strips off inches of your body's most stubborn fat stores, even from the areas that felt immune to diet and exercise. And it drains out the fat, not just from one place, but from everywhere, all at once. And overnight, you'll feel every corner of your body get slimmer, firmer, and tighter as new energy surges through your heart, brain, and other organs, while it also stabilizes your blood sugar and blood pressure to perfectly healthy levels. This is how this breakthrough has saved the lives of my wife, myself, and more than 200,000 people. People who are mothers, fathers, and grandparents, who all lost anywhere from 10 to 100 pounds. And I'm sure you've noticed, these are regular folks, no different from me and you. So how will you feel when it does the same for you? No more wondering if people are laughing behind your back because of your size. No more stress over wondering what your spouse really thinks about your naked body, but won't ever say to your face. And no more anxiety about developing crippling health problems related to your blood sugar, blood pressure, arteries, or organ health. Instead, you'll be active again, traveling to exotic new places, wearing your favorite outfits with confidence, and surging with clean, natural energy that allows you to keep up with your kids and grandkids. Your joints will no longer ache, and with your body finally utilizing all of the nutrients from your food, instead of storing it as fat, those nutrients will be used to grow your hair thick and strong. And with more energy, your sex drive will be like a teenager's again, your skin youthful and vibrant, and the cellulite wiped away for good. And the best part is, this simple after-dinner ritual targets the biological root cause of stored fat, which means once the fat is gone, it's gone for good. So no more jumping from diet to diet. What you eat and how active you want to be will now be your choice. The truth is, you've never heard about this before because the greedy $78 billion weight loss industry has kept this from going public. They're constantly trying to take this presentation down, and I don't know how much longer this page will stay up. So watch on for at least the next few minutes, and I promise you'll be astonished when you see that your body actually has a dormant storage of fat-shrinking cells that just need to be activated in order to have the metabolism of a skinny person. You'll also realize that the root cause of stubborn fat has little to do with genetics, hormones, toxins, or anything else you've heard before. And knowing this will reveal the real reason why some stay slim, no matter what they eat. While you starve yourself and work out every day and still struggle to lose a single pound. And you'll be amazed when you see how this 7-second after-dinner ritual not only activates, but also multiplies your body's dormant, fat-shrinking cells by 1,000% or more. If you know this step-by-step method, you can easily activate these fat-shrinking cells right away from your home, and that's what I'll be showing you. You'll also be furious when you hear why dieting and exercise are the two biggest mistakes if you want to lose weight. They do something to your metabolism that nobody has ever told you before. Plus, I'll share the studies from the world's top universities that backs up everything I'm saying. I'm so excited for you right now because you're about to learn all of this the easy way. Because I've put everything you need to know in this presentation. You just have to stay with me. And within minutes, you'll break free from the prison of fat once and for all. But before I get too excited, let me introduce myself properly. Hi, I'm Matt Walker. And as you might have guessed, I'm no nutritionist, doctor, or fitness expert. I'm just a regular guy, a 48-year-old engineer living with my wife, Melissa, and our 2 kids in Brownfield, Texas. I've spent much of my career traveling to Africa, surveying land and building water wells for impoverished communities. I tell you this, because when you're building water wells, you can do everything right, but even the smallest miscalculation can cause the entire water table to become contaminated. In the same way, you can do everything right to lose weight, but getting this one thing wrong can derail all your efforts. That's what happened to Melissa and me. And this is most likely happening to you right now too, which is why weight loss feels like an uphill battle. To give you a little background about us, Melissa and I have been happily married for 25 years. But not too long ago, everything started going downhill. You see, when my wife and I first met, we were young and it was easy to stay slim. Back then, we took our health for granted. But once Melissa gave birth to our second child, something about her metabolism changed. Over her second pregnancy, she had somehow gained more than 25 pounds. But it didn't stop there. Every week, she'd pile on more and more weight, even though she was doing everything right. She was exercising every day, eating clean, but nothing worked. It got to the point where the doctor even warned her of the dangers of the fat surrounding her belly and organs, and how it could cause real damage to her heart if she didn't lose the weight. Of course, this was terrifying, as neither of us wanted our children to grow up without their mother. But the problem was, it was like something changed from the moment we hit our mid-30s, and she'd fight tooth and nail just to drop a measly 5 pounds over those next 2 years. We gave every diet a go: keto, Atkins, paleo, you name it, even those weird detox diets. And we spent hundreds of dollars we couldn't afford on a home treadmill, but that thing only made her knees hurt more. Sure, every time she tried a new wonder diet or fitness plan, she'd manage to lose a little, maybe a pound or two, and she'd light up, thinking, "This is it, at last." But those diets were brutal to keep up with. Come day 4 or 5, the lure of sweets and cravings for greasy food overwhelmed her willpower, and she'd cave, gaining even more weight than before. Maybe you might have experienced something similar too. Anyway, each slip-up led Melissa to comfort herself with food, which meant the stubborn, ugly fat and cellulite piled on, more than ever. And this yo-yoing completely destroyed her self-confidence and happiness. She was slipping away from the woman I once knew and loved. Our marriage was in shambles. Our love life? Gone. This cycle continued for 12 long years. And instead of getting lighter, she ended up 73 pounds heavier, depressed, and dealing with constant back and knee pain. Even our kids noticed how unhappy their mom was. All the time, she would think about those other women, slim and fit, eating whatever they wanted. "Why can't that be me? What's wrong with me?" she'd ask. I've never felt so powerless in my life. Then, a few months later, my worst nightmare came into reality. It happened during our youngest's birthday party. The kids were running around, giggling, high on cake and laughter. And just as the present opening was about to begin, without warning, Melissa suddenly crumpled like a puppet with cut strings, scattering the presents as she fell. I still remember the surprised screams of the children. Luckily, the EMTs arrived in time and rushed her to the ER, where they had her stay overnight for a battery of tests. It was a miracle that she was alive. But I still remember the harrowing warning the doctor told me that day. "At Melissa's weight, she's 70% more likely to have a heart attack and 20 times more likely to have blood sugar problems, which could lead to blindness or even amputation. If she wants to see her kids grow up, she needs to get down to a healthier weight." That night, I sat next to Melissa, gripping her cold, scared hand in mine. I promised I'd look out for her, but nothing I did helped her. So I did the only thing I could. That night, I prayed to God for His guidance. And I believe He was listening, because Melissa made an incredible recovery soon after. What came next, though, was the strangest and most eye-opening thing I've ever seen. The breakthrough we needed. And you need to hear this too. It happened at the hospital, while Melissa was catching some rest. I was idly scrolling through the news app on my phone when I stumbled across a strange headline. "Doctor says obesity could have been defeated for good." The news piece was about Dr. Jorge Torres, a specialist doctor who had spent over 15 years as a consultant for several of the top diet companies in America. Because of his reputation, he was also a private consultant to Hollywood stars when they needed to get in shape for a major role. But after seeing the underbelly of the industry, he tried blowing the whistle and wanted to reveal all the secrets the shady diet industry keeps under wraps from folks like us. He also said that if this information was leaked out to the public, obesity might not exist anymore. As usual, those big, crooked companies came out on top, and Dr. Torres got hit with a cease and desist. But the news piece also mentioned that Dr. Torres wasn't backing down. He's still in the ring, fighting to spill what he calls the biggest diet cover-up of the century. I realized I had to talk to him. Day in, day out, I called Dr. Torres, bugging his receptionist to set up a meeting, until finally he said yes. Dr. Torres was highly intelligent, but friendly, with sharp wit. He shared stories about his younger days as a doc in a little place not far from the Andes Mountains called Gracias Ridge, before he packed up for the States to work with some of the biggest diet companies around. Did you know the Andes Mountains hosts one of the world's most diverse and vibrant ecosystems? They've got chilly mountain meadows, dense rainforests, and lakes packed with minerals. The Andes are also a hotspot for more than 3,000 plants, herbs, and fruits you won't find anywhere else. Hundreds of natural treatments for problems like blood pressure, hair loss, and eyesight come from the 1,500 medicinal and edible plants in those mountains. As Dr. Torres painted a picture of his old stomping grounds, I laid out the whole saga of Melissa's 12-year battle with her weight, how it shook up everything for us and the kids. With Melissa's health on the fast track downhill, we were running out of time. I handed over Melissa's metabolism test results and begged him to tell me anything that might help. And what Dr. Torres said next flipped everything I knew about weight loss upside down. First off, he said, let's get one thing straight. This isn't Melissa's fault at all. The moment you gain a little bit of weight, what do those fitness experts tell you to do? Eat less and move more, right? But think about it. When did a diet or exercise program ever work long term? Doesn't really happen, does it? Sure, you might drop a pound or two. But here's the catch. When you cut back on your eating, your body switches into survival mode. That's when your metabolism slows right down, thinking food will be scarce. And what no one ever told you was that every time you go on a strict diet, your metabolism gets permanently damaged. Yes, damaged. Look here. This is a study from the Pennington Biomedical Research Center that proved that people who go on restrictive diets end up slowing their metabolism by almost 700 calories a day. And the longer you stick to it, the worse it gets. So, even when you're cutting down on food, your metabolism keeps slowing down to match it. But to make things worse, when you go back to eating like you used to, your metabolism doesn't return back to normal. No, the harm's been done. Your metabolism stays damaged. So when you start eating normally again, you gain back all the weight and more. I've had a look at Melissa's blood tests and results. She has one of the most broken metabolisms I've ever seen. It's less than half of a regular person's. That means almost anything she eats is going to be stored as fat. At this point, Dr. Torres looked at me with empathy. He had seen many cases like Melissa's, who had been tricked into trying diets and meal plans over and over again. In the eyes of the billion-dollar weight loss industry, we were simply another cash cow. The fad diets they sell are not designed to help you lose weight in the long term. They're designed to damage your metabolism while keeping you overweight, to get you coming back for more of their diet foods and programs. And this is why the average American will spend over $100,000 on weight loss products and services over their lifetime, trapped in this cycle. As Dr. Torres explained this to me, I could picture those millionaire CEOs drinking champagne, laughing on their private yachts, at the expense of hardworking, honest people like you and my wife. It made me furious. Dr. Torres continued and said, if you really want to lose weight, you need to look at what lean people are doing. When was the last time you saw a naturally slim person diet? They don't have to. They eat whatever they like, and many don't exercise regularly either. And now, thanks to the latest studies, we know exactly how to help anyone who have the same metabolism of a skinny person. I can show that this has worked, even for people who have tried multiple diets and have had their metabolism slowed down to a halt, like Melissa. I could hardly believe it. But if Dr. Torres said it was possible, I would be willing to try anything. That's when he pulled out a large binder and showed it to me. He explained it contained his life's research. Many years ago, as a younger man, Dr. Torres lived in the Andes to study exactly why the villagers there had some of the best health profiles in the world. Obesity simply didn't exist there. And by the end of his expedition, Dr. Torres had found the answer, the literal solution to obesity. He then came back to America and tried to work with many different companies to get it out to the public. But these crooked companies hid it from those who needed it most and forced Dr. Torres into silence. But luckily, he saved all of his research in the binder. He then told me to see the proof for myself. And like that, Dr. Torres was off to his next meeting. So as soon as we said our goodbyes, I rushed home and opened the binder. Dr. Torres' research held a wealth of knowledge on human health and wellness. However, the section that stood out to me was the part about obesity. Specifically, it listed several odd plants and herbs from the Andes Mountains, used by the Peruvian folks to stay slim no matter what they ate. And what I saw blew me away. First on the list were the golden berries that grow 17,000 feet up in the Andes, near the Valdivian rainforest. Botanists say the high-altitude environment forces adaptation mechanisms in these golden berries. And these adaptations have transformed it into a superfood full of unique, healing compounds that can't be found anywhere else in the world. That's why locals travel far and wide to harvest it, and why it has been used as natural medicine for thousands of years. It's full of vitamins, antioxidants, and polyphenols that support memory, heart health, cholesterol, and smoother, more youthful skin. And it's also an amazing natural source of melatonin, the sleep hormone. More importantly, a study published in Clinical Nutrition and Metabolic Care found it turns your body into a metabolic furnace because it gives you more of something called Stage 3 deep sleep. Deep sleep? This was the first time I heard about it. But luckily, Dr. Torres had provided detailed notes. You see, the metabolic effects of deep sleep isn't something you can measure by the hours you're sleeping. You could be getting a solid 8 hours, but still get very little deep sleep, just like Melissa. And that's because there are 4 stages of sleep. And doctors have discovered most overweight people are stuck cycling between stages 1 and 2, where the shallow sleep is. And you'll see why this is the real root cause of stubborn fat. This is how it was for my wife, and likely for you too. It all came to the surface when Dr. Guglielmo Becudi from the University of Chicago stumbled across something odd about sleep and how it affects your metabolism. They studied a whopping 604,509 men and women, many of them being over 40 years of age, and they discovered that every single overweight person was stuck in the shallow stages of sleep, specifically stage 1 and 2. The scientists knew this for certain because they used sleep devices that would measure brainwave activity, pulse, and several other factors, which revealed exactly which sleep stage people were in. In fact, the people stuck in shallow sleep were not only more overweight with slower metabolisms, they also had blood sugar problems and increased levels of cortisol, which led to more stubborn belly fat too. I could hardly believe it. It was beginning to sound exactly like Melissa's problems. Maybe it'll sound familiar to you too. But the story doesn't end there. Increased cortisol from shallow sleep is also linked to the most dangerous form of fat, visceral fat, which builds up around your waist and other vital organs. So if you can reach down and grab a few inches of visceral fat around your belly, it means it's already straining your most vital organs, which can lead to even more crippling health issues. Dr. Torres's binder of studies also revealed shallow sleep also led to higher levels of ghrelin, the hunger hormone, which can make you a victim of runaway cravings. In contrast, naturally slim people were rushing past the shallow stages and spending most of the night in stage 3 deep sleep, which sped up their metabolism to lightning fast speeds. This meant when they woke up, they could stuff their faces with their favorite foods, and their bodies would burn it all up like jet fuel. I know that sounds surprising. I too was shocked to realize that a single stage of sleep quality could make this much difference. But remember, this was a study on more than 600,000 people. That's the same size as the entire city of Washington. And maybe you're as surprised as I was to see the scientific proof, because almost every fitness guru, every weight loss program I'd heard about, claimed that calories in, calories out was the only thing that mattered, and that diet and exercise was the only way to lose weight. Yet, here were actual world-class scientists proving the exact opposite in their study that involved more than 600,000 people. It made me realize the reason why Melissa couldn't lose weight wasn't because she wasn't trying hard enough to diet or exercise. It was actually a surface symptom of being stuck in shallow stage 1 and 2 sleep. But just in case that wasn't enough proof, Canadian researchers also confirmed it in their latest study. They fed 2 groups of adults the same food, but one group was getting shallow sleep and the second was getting deep sleep. The results were mind-blowing. The shallow sleep group was burning 55% less calories per day, even when all other factors stayed the same. Yes, they were eating the same meals, same calories and everything, but they were burning a whopping 55% less calories just because of the shallow sleep. On the other hand, the deep sleep group was burning nearly 500 more calories per day, which is the equivalent to running 5 miles. Isn't that wild? The literal difference between a skinny person and overweight person isn't their metabolism. It came down to whether they were spending the night in shallow or deep sleep. But why exactly were so many people, like my wife, stuck in the shallow stages? Dr. Torres's research uncovered two key reasons. The first culprit is age. Just like everything else, the amount of deep sleep we get drops from our 30s and onward, which results in signs of aging, like wrinkles, and metabolic slowdown, which most of us expect to face as we age. However, the second culprit is much less obvious, but far more sinister. It turns out, the added stress of modern lifestyle is destroying your body's natural ability to get precious, deep sleep. The stressful impact of work, bills, taking care of children, social media, and all of these new conveniences, they're to blame. Because all of these factors cause a flood of cortisol, the stress hormone, to overwhelm your body. And those cortisol levels stay elevated throughout the night and keeps you stuck in the shallow stages of sleep, resulting in more and more weight gain. You're not alone in this. Nearly every modern study shows the average quality of sleep in adults is declining every year. So by the time you're in your 40s, the amount of deep sleep has dropped by up to 90% or more, leaving you with only 10% of your body's real fat-burning and regenerative power. But this isn't bad news, it's good news, because it also meant just by shifting sleep up one extra stage to stage 3 deep sleep, thousands of people, including Melissa and you too, could transform their bodies into a metabolic furnace that melts through calories and stored fat like a hot knife through butter. Because remember, the 600,000 person study revealed that every single adult, even if they are overweight and getting poor deep sleep, naturally possesses amazing fat-burning potential that just needs to be unlocked. But it didn't stop there. Dr. Torres's binder revealed stage 3 deep sleep is also when your body releases natural growth hormone. This is the same hormone widely considered to be the fountain of youth by anti-aging doctors. It's been found to reverse many of the symptoms of aging, like fine lines, wrinkles, age spots, and dark circles, and instead restores firmness and tightness of skin, grows thick, full hair, restores the kind of energy you had as a teenager, boosts libido, helps build toned, lean muscle that gives you a Hollywood figure, all the while burning stored fat like a furnace. And this happens week on week, year on year, with no rebounding or side effects. So getting more deep sleep was the biological calorie-burning switch Dr. Torres had told me about. Last but not least, look at this. This study analyzed the sleep quality of nearly 12,000 Peruvian natives from the Andes and concluded that they get 40% deeper sleep than the average American. This was why folks in the Andes Mountains were so incredibly healthy and slim, no matter their age. They easily had some of the lowest rates of obesity, and even less than Vietnam, Japan, and Switzerland. And the Andean golden berries were one of the most effective, natural ways to shift your body from stage 1 and 2 sleep and push it through to stage 3 deep sleep, where your body transforms into a metabolic furnace. But don't think you need to go trekking up to the Andes to get some golden berries yourself, because second on Dr. Torres's list was the roots of the Andes' manzanilla flower. Like the golden berries, the high-altitude environment has caused adaptations in the manzanilla flower, giving it an increased concentration of vitamins, minerals, and other essential compounds. But more importantly, a 2017 study found that the manzanilla flower also increases deep sleep significantly too. And while combining the golden berries and manzanilla from the Andes Mountains would be extremely effective, Dr. Torres's binder showed that it needed to be combined with 2 more ingredients. So next on the list was the roots of the valeriana flower. The Peruvian natives who live in the Andes often use the root of this plant to brew a special type of tea. And it's known for being full of healthy B vitamins, minerals, and amino acids. It not only boosts metabolism, it also lowers cholesterol, normalizes blood pressure, and strengthens the immune system so you never get sick. And of course, it also increases deep sleep too. Last but not least, Dr. Torres's notes emphasized it was more important to combine it all with the 4th ingredient, L-tryptophan, found in Andean quinoa. Quinoa are special grains that grow natively in the Andes, and they are packed with powerful minerals and antioxidants. And they're amazing for your gut health, providing relief from bloating, and relieves constipation, which strengthens your digestive system. And yes, the L-tryptophan from quinoa increases deep sleep too. After seeing the weight loss secrets spill out of Dr. Torres's binder like a torrent, I realized this was something that could save my wife, and maybe even millions of others with their weight struggles. And I had to get this powerful recipe for Melissa, but it wasn't going to be easy. It took weeks to find high-quality sources for the 4 superfoods from the Andes, then even longer for them to be delivered, and even more time to meticulously extract the leaves, pigments, roots, and saps. It cost me nearly $1,000, and by the end of it, I was exhausted and didn't even have a single day's worth. I realized I couldn't do this alone. So I started contacting every research institute who was willing to hear me out. And out of all the independent researchers who wanted to work with me, I chose Dr. Stephen Watts, who was an expert in metabolism and anti-aging, who also regularly consulted for top athletes and celebrities. When we met, he greeted me with a hearty handshake, and I could tell he was excited. "Your research is spot on," he said. "There's always been a missing piece that couldn't explain why some people never gain weight, no matter what they eat. But now, we know the answer. After seeing your research and confirming all the studies, I'm 100% certain this can be used to accelerate weight loss for just about anyone." In the following weeks, Dr. Watts got together a world-class team and found several more nutrients. This included leaves of the honeyflower, which grows in the alpine mountaintops of the Andes and is full of antioxidants, minerals, and vitamins. Studies from the top research universities in the world have all found that the leaves of the honeyflower improves vision, smooths out wrinkles, stabilizes blood sugar, and speeds up your body's natural metabolism too. Second was an extract from the roots of the passion flower, often used in Peru to brew tea. Passion flower not only helps reduce sugar cravings, it's also a powerful digestion aid, and that's why it enhances the effects of all the other nutrients. And over the next few months, Dr. Watts tested over 100 different combinations, and finally developed a mixture that was 6 times more powerful than the original recipe. When used after dinner, it would rapidly transform the body into a metabolic furnace and would dissolve all of the stored fat safely and easily overnight. What's more, it would also support the release of more growth hormone too, revitalizing your heart, reducing inflammation, promoting cell growth, and providing cellular benefits, so it'd be like your skin was aging backwards in time. Dr. Watts then teamed up with a state-of-the-art facility here in the US, making sure it was FDA registered and followed GMP good manufacturing practices. He then meticulously sourced the rare ingredients from the Andes and put it into a small, easy-to-swallow plant-based capsule. And as soon as the first alpha test bottles arrived on our doorstep, Melissa began using it. She first tossed her exercise routine aside and began indulging in all her favorite treats, pizza and cookies included, just as Dr. Watts had instructed. At first, she had her doubts. She didn't want to get pumped up with false hope, only to be let down again. But the first night she used it before bed, she immediately found herself drifting off into a deep, metabolically restorative sleep. She told me the next day, something felt different. And sure enough, when she stepped on the scales, she was 2 pounds lighter. I was ecstatic, but Melissa was skeptical. But after each night, she'd wake up lighter and slimmer than before. The scales dropped rapidly every week, actually so fast that it worried me. But when I called Dr. Watts, he reassured us and said it was perfectly normal. And before we knew it, Melissa had shed 73 pounds of stubborn, wobbly fat from all across her body. Her belly was as flat as a washboard. Her joints no longer ached, and she was brimming with clean, natural energy. She even noticed that the stress wrinkles that had developed were disappearing. After seeing Melissa's results, I started using it too, and it helped me melt 42 pounds of unwanted fat, and I was shocked to see my abs for the first time in years. I couldn't believe it. After years of failed diets and gym workouts, neither of us could believe how easy the real solution was. Just 7 seconds and a glass of cold water with the right Andean recipe. And Melissa's weight problem was fixed, and her metabolism sped up faster than ever. When we met Dr. Watts again, he was astounded by our dramatic transformation. He said to us, "Melissa, your health indicators are extraordinary. You've dropped over 73 pounds. Your heart, cholesterol, blood pressure, they're what you'd expect from someone in their 20s. Your dopamine, the feel-good hormone, is up by 40%. Your resting heart rate matches that of an athlete. And here, look at these scans. Your metabolic rate is 880% faster. You're burning calories nearly 9 times faster than before." We were both in disbelief. After a 12-year struggle, it felt as if Melissa had finally stepped into the light. We knew we had to spread the word of this secret to others who were bound to still be struggling with diet and exercise. But Dr. Watts was adamant that the experiences of just Melissa and me weren't enough proof. So he reached out for volunteers on the internet. Over 1,500 people, ranging in age from 30 to 84, from 10 to 108 pounds overweight, signed up. The flood of results that came in even took Dr. Watts by surprise. Each person experienced an incredible surge in their metabolism, shooting up anywhere from 200% to an astonishing 500%. Cravings? Gone. Libido? Like a teenager. Bloating, brain fog, and anxiety? A thing of the past. Their bodies were finally burning up all the stored fat like jet fuel, and it also was flooding their bodies with anti-aging growth hormones. And with more growth hormone, they experienced an amazing transformation, looking, feeling, and moving like they were 20 years younger. As the fat melted away, what they felt beneath was not softness, but strong, well-defined muscles. Their heart health, arteries, cholesterol, blood sugar, and blood pressure all improved dramatically. A whopping 96% of the group lost over 22 pounds. On average, folks were dropping 38 pounds, and some even saw an astounding 81 pounds disappear. The remaining 4% still lost over 12 pounds and were overjoyed with the results. And the best part? The weight stayed off, just like the research promised it would. For the very first time, these folks, just like Melissa and me, had the freedom to eat their favorite foods and choose the clothes they loved, all without a single worry. They never felt embarrassed or self-conscious about the way they looked. It was an amazing feeling to hear all of the success stories. Here's a snippet of what some had to say. Mark from Texas said, "I dropped 37 pounds so effortlessly, and the weight just dropped off before I knew it." Then there's Emily from California. "I went down 6 pant sizes and lost nearly 30 pounds faster than I ever thought possible." And let's not forget Sophia from Georgia, who said, "I slimmed down from 189 to 133, and my cravings for the unhealthy snacks I used to love have vanished." Now, as you've probably guessed, these folks are just regular people like me and you. Now, it's your turn. That's why I'm here. That's why I shared my story with you. And that's why I've shown you the breakthrough I discovered in Dr. Torres's binder. Because we've turned that breakthrough into a simple one-and-done solution called RevaSlim. Now, I'm super excited to share RevaSlim with you today. It's the simplest, most affordable, and easiest way to shed weight. And it's the only formula designed with the exact, clinically proven quantities of the Andean nutrients I've shown you today to transform your body into a metabolic furnace to burn up all the stored fat across your body. It works for both women and men, allowing anyone to put themselves into a fat-burning state, day and night. It targets all types of fat, even the stubborn kind on your stomach, arms, hips, neck, and face. RevaSlim also increases your natural energy levels and helps make your skin look younger. It wipes away wrinkles and balances your health markers, like cholesterol and blood pressure. RevaSlim is also 100% safe, and uses the combined synergy of several potent and clinically effective natural ingredients from the Andes Mountains. What's more, Revaslim doesn't have to be combined with diet or exercise. In fact, Dr. Watts actually recommends that you eat all of your favorite foods in order to keep up with the speed of your new metabolism. Pizza, pasta, ice cream, French fries, and burgers. You can totally enjoy all of them, guilt-free, without ever gaining a single pound. Revaslim is a clear leap forward in the science of weight loss, making the old ways of strict diets and grueling exercise seem like ancient history. It's a blend of cutting-edge biology, tech, and Dr. Watts and his team's relentless work to bring it to life. That's why there's never been anything like it. Now, thousands of men and women, just like you, are living their best lives in the slim, lean body that they can feel confident about. They're brimming with all-day energy and experiencing amazing transformations from head to toe. And with Revaslim, you can experience this too. Just 2 capsules after dinner, and you'll be shedding the pounds lightning fast, so you can get on with your life, enjoying your favorite foods, only exercising when you want to, while allowing Revaslim to do the rest. Revaslim is also 100% safe, vegetarian, non-GMO, gluten-free, and it contains no added fillers, preservatives, artificial colors, or stimulants of any kind. Dr. Watts made sure to only use scientific-grade nutrients from pure, untempered sources, as nature intended. These are then processed in a state-of-the-art manufacturing facility that follows FDA-approved good manufacturing practices. This means each batch is painstakingly developed with care, following the strictest safety protocols. Then, we routinely have each new batch tested and approved by third-party inspectors. This is how we can guarantee Revaslim is high quality, safe, and effective. And now that you know exactly how Revaslim works, let me ask you a question. How much would it be worth to you to finally break the chains of stubborn fat forever? I mean, really picture it. What is that sense of freedom worth? Think about the costs, not just in money, but in your overall well-being. Like the price on your health from carrying those extra pounds, or having that dangerous visceral fat choke your vital organs, setting the stage for crippling health issues down the road. And what about the hours wasted at the gym, the endless meal prepping, or trying to follow whatever the latest fad diet is? Imagine the savings you would get if you were able to simply stay slim forever. Then there's the stuff you can't put a price tag on, like loving the way you look in the mirror, feeling confident in a bathing suit at the beach or at the pool, savoring all your favorite foods without a shred of guilt, and putting an end to the yo-yo diets, frustration, and embarrassment of having others silently judge the way you look. How about the joy of moving with ease, playing with your kids without gasping for air, or the peace of mind that you won't face financial ruin from a health scare, or worse, an untimely farewell? It's clear to anyone, these things are beyond valuable. That's why it's no surprise that many of the folks I asked said they would give anything to transform their lives like this. Because it's not just about you. Remember, your weight actually affects everyone you love. That's why it's about being there for your family, setting an example for the young ones, and giving yourself the self-love we often neglect. So, with all this in mind, what's it worth to you to eliminate the unwanted fat for good? I know it's hard to put a number on it, but you'll be glad to hear you won't need to pay anywhere near what you might be thinking. You see, it's not about the money for me. I truly believe God set me on this path, and He was the one who saved Melissa. Now, I want to pay it forward and get Revaslim out to as many people as possible. I'm glad to say, Revaslim has already changed the lives of 210,000 men and women around the world. But I want to get that to 1 million, and I want you to be our next success story. And to get there, I don't want price to stand in anyone's way. That's why I've bent over backward to make Revaslim as affordable as possible. Of course, it's not easy, because the things that make Revaslim so effective also makes it expensive to produce. From scientific-grade ingredients to costly sourcing methods, Not to mention the expensive processing techniques, maintaining our laboratory-grade facility, to paying for vigorous third-party testing. All these costs add up. That's why, until now, we've had to price Revaslim at $269. That's the rock-bottom figure Dr. Watts' team and the experts suggested. But I can't bear the thought of anyone missing out because of the price. And since you've already invested your time into watching this video, I can tell that you're serious about making a change, and you won't have to pay $269 like everyone else, or $200, or even $100. Instead, on this page only, you can grab a month's supply of Revaslim for only $69. For $69, there aren't many things that can totally transform your life like Revaslim can. $69 might buy you one dinner at a fancy restaurant, but you're going to walk out of there with no difference in your overall weight or happiness. But by investing $69 into Revaslim, it could change your life, helping you get slim, attractive, and confident again in your own body, and letting you look, move, and feel as if you were at least 20 years younger. Then there's all the benefits of not having to worry about your blood sugar, blood pressure, or heart health. But please know, the only reason we're able to make this offer available today is to make room in our warehouse for our next shipment, which is why it's important to act fast. I can only offer this low price for the remaining inventory we have left. And given just how fast the orders have been coming in lately, it's likely that we'll run out very soon and have to close this offer for good. So please don't be upset if you come back to this page and find that the cost has gone up by hundreds of dollars. At that point, there's nothing I can do to get the price back down to the $69 that's available to you right now. But if you would prefer to pay less than $69 today, here's what you can do. You see, the longer you stick with Revaslim, the better your results will be. Most of the research I shared with you showed the strongest results around month 5 or 6. That's when you really start to see the magic happen. It's like the benefits of the Andean superfood ingredients build up the longer you use it, eventually snowballing to the point where you've transformed into a totally new person. I've had folks write in saying they started noticing their energy levels surging and feeling like they're 20 years younger. That's why they were ordering 6 bottles to make sure they were always stocked up. Keep that in mind because we've got a bit of a situation. Our warehouse is packed and we need to make space for a new shipment that's coming in. So, here's the deal I've got for you. It's not just about trying Revaslim for 30, 60, or 90 days. I'd like you to try Revaslim for the full duration used in the clinical studies shown in Dr. Torres's binder. A complete 180 days to really build up the benefits. This is part of what I like to call our Buy More, Save More campaign. It's set up so you can see the best results and save a bunch of money at the same time. Today, you can get your hands on a 6-month supply of Revaslim for only $49 per bottle. That's about $1 a day when you choose the 6-month option. Wouldn't you agree that investing $1 a day is worth the happiness you'll experience when you finally feel slim and confident? I'm sure you'd agree. You've sacrificed so much for your family, your loved ones, and everyone else around you. Now it's time to focus on you for a change, so you can get back on track with the life you want to live. Trim, toned, and full of confidence and energy. Here's the thing about Revaslim. Most people make the smart decision to use it for the fully recommended duration, which is at least 6 months. The added benefit is that they also don't have to bother with the hassle of reordering or the risk of it being sold out. That's probably why a whopping 96% of our customers grab 6 bottles in one go. They're ready to start melting away the fat and keep it gone for the long haul. And they're locking in the biggest savings, making sure they've got enough for themselves and to share with their loved ones. Plus, when you see that your order comes with a 180-day satisfaction guarantee, it's a clear win for you. That's why Revaslim has been flying off the shelves and why it's important to act fast. And just to be crystal clear, this isn't one of those subscription deals or an ongoing charge. No hidden fees to catch you out. It's a straightforward, one-off payment, and you're all set with Revaslim. But just note, The price is not guaranteed if you leave this page. The last thing I want is for you to come back later and see higher prices, or worse, find out Revaslim is out of stock. It's also possible that Big Pharma finds a way to patent these powerful ingredients into a drug. Once this happens, you won't be able to get it on the open market anymore. This is why many of our smartest customers have stocked up multiple bottles in advance. And if you have a significant amount of weight to lose, I recommend you do the same. And to make this decision even smarter, I'm here to throw in the kitchen sink too. Because ordering the 3 or 6 bottle package shows me how serious you are about your weight and overall health. And we want to match that commitment. That's why I'm going to throw in 2 additional free gifts if you choose either the 3 or 6 bottle option. These gifts were developed using the research contained in Dr. Torres's binder. You see, Dr. Torres's notes didn't just contain studies about the Andes Mountains and its secret wealth of fat-burning ingredients. It contained the accumulation of years of his research, and it included additional scientific methods for not only losing weight fast, but other wellness tricks and hacks too. So we gathered them all and put it together into 2 special gifts. Let me just say this right now, to be super clear. These gifts are not a requirement for you to shed that stubborn weight. Revaslim alone is potent enough in that department. However, these are just extras we're throwing in to match your commitment when you order the 3 or 6 bottle packages. The first gift is called Speed Weight Loss, the 21 pounds in 21 days challenge. This first gift will start your weight loss transformation with a bang because it contains 25 additional herbs found inside Dr. Torres's binder that are scientifically proven to speed up your weight loss even faster. I recommend this for anyone who needs to lose weight in a hurry, whether you're trying to shed pounds fast for a special event like a wedding or for any other reason. The second gift is called Scientific Anti-Aging Secrets. Dr. Torres's binder also contained additional research on various anti-aging foods, one-and-done stretches, and extra mindfulness practices that were scientifically proven to provide a massive boost in various anti-aging hormones. This is especially useful for people who have a lot of weight to lose, because dropping the weight rapidly means you could end up with additional wrinkles and visible signs of aging, aka diet face. Dr. Torres's binder contained valuable information about preventing diet face as you lose weight rapidly, alongside several more anti-aging and beauty hacks, all backed by science. So to summarize, with the 3 or 6 bottle packages, you'll get these 2 gifts: Speed Weight Loss, the 21 pounds in 21 days challenge, and Scientific Anti-Aging Secrets. Again, you don't have to get these gifts to drop that stubborn weight with Revaslim. They're there as a complimentary resource. The only reason I'm throwing these bonuses in free with the 3 and 6 bottle packages is to match your commitment. And once you've picked the package that's right for you, you'll shed the stubborn weight fast, and every marker of well-being will improve. You'll have more energy to do the things you love, and you can be a better spouse, parent, or grandparent. So saying yes to Revaslim today isn't just for you to become slim, sexy, and more confident. It also affects everyone around you. So do this for both you and for them. And I promise you, once you start seeing the stubborn fat fall off, even from all the problem areas, you'll soon realize this is the best decision you've made this year. Now it's time to select your package. Once you've picked the package that's right for you, you'll be directed to our secure checkout page, which will look like this. It's locked down with the same 256-bit encryption that big names like Walmart and Amazon use, which means your details are 100% safe. Just pop in your info and press the order button, and we'll get your Revaslim package sent straight to your door. Now, because I'm so confident that it will work for you, we're putting our money where our mouth is and offer a 180-day, 100% guarantee. Unless you're thrilled with Revaslim's results, we'll refund your entire investment. No hassle and no questions asked. That's how much I stand behind Revaslim. That's how confident I am that it will work for you. And that's how much I value your trust in me and Dr. Watts' team. So you can take Revaslim risk-free for a full 180 days. So you're not saying yes, you're saying maybe. And if you ever need more support, our friendly customer service team will be there for you. You'll get all the contact details in an email, on your confirmation page, and on every Revaslim shipment we send out. So there's zero risk for you to give Revaslim a shot today. And today's the only day I can guarantee that you'll be getting Revaslim at the lowest price it'll ever be. So go ahead and click below to grab your 6-month supply, or whatever amount feels right. Now, this video is about to end, and you're at a crossroads. I've shown you all the science, and you've seen the studies that prove the Andean ingredients inside Revaslim flat out works. But you're still here instead of clicking that Add to Cart button, which means you're not 100% sure yet. So while you're with me, let me tell you a quick story. It's about a woman who's stuck in a flood. She's on a rooftop. She prays to God to save her. A boat comes by and says, "Get in." She says, "No thanks. I prayed to God. He'll save me," she says. "I don't need your boat." The water is now up to her neck. Then a helicopter drops by. They throw down a rope ladder and say, "Get in." She says, "No thanks. You can keep your ladder. I prayed to God. He will save me." And then the woman drowns. She goes to heaven and is face to face with God Almighty. She says, "God, I don't understand. I prayed to you. I believed in you. And yet you let me die. Where was your help?" God says, "I sent you a boat and a helicopter. What more can I do?" See, she didn't realize that her Savior was right in front of her all along. And that's you. You're still watching this video instead of taking action. You think your Savior may come from somewhere else, but you're here on this page. You're here for a reason. You invested a lot of time watching this video. You did that for a reason too. Of course, you could choose to ignore everything you've seen today, and I'd harbor no hard feelings even if you did that. But consider this. If you do nothing today, what will change? You go back to your usual routine. Maybe you try a new diet, but you know it's just a matter of time before the stress and strain puts you back at square one. It's happened before, and it'll happen again. And in the past, it wasn't your fault, but not anymore. Now, you know how Revaslim is the only thing your body needs to get slim and keep it that way. And now you know exactly what to do. If you choose to do nothing today, the next time you go to weigh in at your bathroom scales, you'll get that sinking feeling as you realize it's another failed weight loss attempt. And you'll think back to the opportunity you missed today. And even if you decide to come back to this page to order Revaslim, we might have run out of stock by then, because others have already taken the leap and ordered their supply. Or maybe it'll be gone for good, because the weight loss industry won out in the end and got us taken down. Unfortunately, we live in the real world, and the bad guys do win, just because they have more money. That means you'll have missed out forever, instead of experiencing the joy of shredding the pounds today. At that point, wouldn't you think back to this moment and regret not taking action? If the answer is even a maybe, you'd be wise to take the smarter second path and say yes right now. You'll get your own supply of Revaslim today with a 180-day money-back guarantee, which means you truly have nothing to lose but everything to gain. And that's by design. I've done everything I can to make this critical first step easy for you, but I can't take that step for you. Your helicopter's here right now in front of you, and I want nothing more than to help you get the slender body of your dreams. But you have to take the first step. Get in. Hover your mouse over the order button, click it, and fill in the information requested on the next page. It'll be the best move you make all year. And you don't have to do this alone. I'll be with you every step of the way, giving you the support and motivation you need through email. But it's up to you to take the first step. The good news is, it's easy. Move your mouse or scroll down with your phone and click the Add to Cart button. Now's your final chance to take Revaslim for a 180-day trial run. Remember, the 3 and 6 bottle packages also get you free access to reports contained in Dr. Torres's binder. Those gifts were called Speed Weight Loss, the 21 Pounds in 21 Days Challenge, and Scientific Anti-Aging Secrets. These gifts are perfect if you're looking to lose weight in a hurry, for an upcoming event, or for health reasons. And it also helps prevent diet face by showing you how to trigger additional anti-aging hormones as you lose weight rapidly. And while you don't need these reports to get the body you want, we're throwing these gifts in to match your commitment to your weight loss transformation. So scroll down now. When you see the Add to Cart button, click it. Then fill out your details on the next page. I can't wait to hear your success story. I'm Matt Walker, and thanks for hearing me out. God bless. Ah, I see you're still here. That means you've got questions. Let's go through them now. Question 1. Will I keep getting billed over and over again? No, this is a one-time purchase. We won't bill you again, so order with peace of mind. Question 2. How do I know Revaslim will work for me? Since its launch, more than 210,000 people who were overweight and desperate have experienced incredible results with Revaslim. These were people who felt stuck with weight that didn't budge even with diet or exercise. But the fat-melting ingredients inside Revaslim was the first breakthrough that actually let them shed the pounds easily, safely, and effectively. That's why we're 99.9% confident that Revaslim will work for you too. But if you're part of the 0.1% and for any reason aren't completely satisfied with Revaslim's results, remember, you always have your unconditional 180-day guarantee, so you can try it with peace of mind. Question 3. How do I use Revaslim, and how long should I take it for? For optimal results, take the recommended dosage as indicated on the bottle. Clinical studies suggest that you should use it daily for at least 3 months. However, the best outcomes came from those who took it for at least 12 months consistently. So, the longer you use Revaslim, the better results you can expect. Question 4. How does the guarantee work again? Remember, your order is covered by a 180-day guarantee. Take Revaslim for a test run with zero risk. And unless you're thrilled with the results, you can return the bottles, even if they're empty, and we'll still give you a full refund. If you ordered the multi-bottle package, you can keep the bonuses as a thank you for giving Revaslim a shot. Question 5. Okay, I'm ready to order Revaslim. What now? Great. You're about to take the first step toward your new, slim, and healthy body. But we're at the end of this presentation. So now's your last chance to take Revaslim for a trial run for the next 180 days. Remember, the 3 or 6 bottle package gets you the best per bottle price. And you get your 2 free gifts: Speed Weight Loss, the 21 Pounds in 21 Days Challenge, and Scientific Anti-Aging Secrets. These gifts are perfect if you're looking to lose weight in a hurry, for an upcoming event, or for health reasons. And it also helps prevent diet face by showing you how to trigger additional anti-aging hormones as you lose weight rapidly. So scroll down right now, click the button on the package you want, and fill out your details on the following page. This is important. Make sure to fill out your details on the checkout page. Otherwise, we can't ship your bottles of Revaslim to you. So go ahead, choose your package and click the button below now. I'll see you on the other side.